What's up, guys? It's Dekkster here, and I want to talk about some new cards that have been announced from Ashes of Outland. So let's jump into it with Shadow Council here, a 1-mana warlock spell that replaces your hand with random demons and gives them +2/+2. So this seems really fun. And if you get demons you actually like, the +2/+2 buff for 1 mana is definitely worth it. But generally, when you're playing a deck, you put cards in your deck that you want. And replacing those with something random is usually not going to be good or competitive. So I don't really see this being played in a Zoolock. In Zoolock, you're also often like top decking towards a later part of your game plan, and you don't want to top deck this card. That would feel awful. In Handlock, you generally don't want to replace cards in your hand with random demons, and in Control Lock as well. So the only way I can kind of see this being played is in some sort of new archetype where you are using some sort of Witchwood Appley sort of card, which I don't know if they're going to announce something like that. If they don't, I don't think you want this. But if they do, something that might add random or imps to your hand, right? Or maybe using something like Embalming, where it'll put crappy imps in your deck, and then you draw those 1/1 imps and you just collect them. Then you hit them with the Shadow Council at the end. Something like that might be interesting, but as far as being competitively viable, I don't really see it at this point. We'd have to reassess after all the Warlock cards are announced, I guess. But for right now, Shadow Council not seeming too great to me, but really fun for sure. We got Soulsplit, a 4-mana demon hunter spell where you choose a friendly demon and you summon a copy of it. So there have been a couple large demons that have been announced, and we got that big batter guy, the batterhead dude, who's like what is he, a 5/10 with rush. That's pretty good. If you can summon a copy of that seems totally worth it for 4 mana. If there are other large demons, hitting them with a Soulsplit as well is going to be worth. I think you generally need something at 5 or more mana, right? So this being played at 4 mana, it would actually save you mana. So using this on a 5+ mana demon is probably going to be worth it. But does it warrant a spot in your deck? I'm not so sure. Maybe a one-off, or who knows? We'll have to see. Maybe there's going to be some sort of big demon hunter. That would be amazing, and I think, yeah, this might have a spot in a big demon hunter. In the smaller demon hunter, because we're seeing more small minions, I think you don't want to run Soulsplit. We're seeing a lot of like 1/1 rush sort of cards, and you don't want to run this. So it's seeming like they're leaning towards multiple different archetypes of demon hunter, which is great, and obviously we want that. So Soulsplit, I think it's going to find its place in one of these archetypes. All right, we got the Imprisoned Antaen, which is a 5-mana 10/6 demon, another big demon, which is dormant for 2 turns, and when it awakens, it deals 10 damage randomly split among all enemies. So this is like better than Avenging Wrath. What, it's like three different, arcane missiles. I don't know. It's like Reno. It's like Reno. I think that's the best comparison, but it's all enemies, so it can go face. So when I was at Summit, people would play this card and it seemed pretty nuts. I was playing against Trump a bit with it, and it's like he'd coin it out on turn 4, it'd do nothing on 4, it'd do nothing on 5, and then on 6 it just wakes up and demolishes your board, demolishes your face. It's insane. And then not only does it demolish your board and your face, but it then throws 10/6 worth of stats on the board, and the 6 health is not that much, but as a 5-mana card, a 10/6 it's a lot of stats, dude, for 5 mana. And then destroying your board, my god, this card, it seemed kind of busted, and I still think it's kind of busted. I mean, you could get sack packed after it becomes awake, which not great, but it's so awkward to play around, because do you really want to develop a board against this guy when you know he's gonna, become awoken? Because it's gonna destroy your board. But if you don't play a board, it's gonna hit you in the face. So essentially, you're sacrificing your hand and your minions and your game plan to just soak up damage. So your opponent playing against this is gonna have to play some high health things that they know they're just gonna die, and you just want to soak up that Reno effect. that can also go face. So 5 mana, do nothing for 2 turns. You might think it's not great, but it's pretty dang good, man. This is this card. Discard. This card, man. It's so good. Oh my god, speaking of good cards, we got Blackjack Stunner here, a 1 mana 1/2 rogue card with the battle cry. If you control a secret, return a minion to its owner's hand, and it costs 2 more. So this is like a targeted freezing trap. It's like a sap and a trap targeted, like in one, right? And it's 1 mana. It's a 1 mana 1/2, which is a solid stats for a 1 mana card. So if you're running secrets in your rogue deck, which I think this card alone may warrant it. We've seen 1 rogue secret so far, the one that summons an ambusher. So you play the ambusher, and then you can play this stunner and just targeted sap things or targeted freezing trap things, and it's gonna really suck for your opponent. So do you like 1 mana sap that also makes their card cost 2 more? Yeah, you do, because you also like 2 mana sap. Like this seems insane to me. This seems like a staple, I guess, under the condition that you're running a secret rogue, which isn't really a thing, but it seems like it's gonna be a thing, right? Especially with how powerful that card is right there. We got moarg Artificer, 2 mana 2/4 demon, which is great stats for a 2-drop. On top of that, all minions take double damage from spells. So this is pretty good if you're running spells in your deck. Maybe this is often slotted in mage. That's the first thing that comes to mind for me. Or maybe in warlock with like hellfire. Then you got to 5 mana 6 damage to the entire board. That's pretty good. Using it with flame strike, and now becomes a 9 mana, deal 8 to your opponent's side of the board. Or what was it? Chaos Nova? I think it was Chaos Nova, where you can do 4 damage to the entire board. Now you can do 8 damage, and that was a 4 mana card, right? So 6 mana combo here, pretty good. This is a demon as well. Again, they got to change Sack Pact. I feel like I'm going to mention that most times I see a demon, but this is going to be crazy, dude. I guess this guy also takes double damage from spells. So if you play him, he's more easily removed by your opponent's spells, which is totally fine. So I guess a bit of a double-edged blade. Is that the phrase? I think. So yeah, really cool cards here. Enjoying the set so far. The theme seems fantastic to me. Demon Hunter looks super exciting. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. And that's it. More cards every day. Lots of cards. Lots of card reviews coming. Good luck on ladder and stay hydrated.